everybody, welcome back to Pixel Junkies. You're listening to the Pixel Junkies
Hello.
podcast, episode 135. I'm one of your hosts, Rory DC.
I'm starting to get away from the numbers because I'm not doing the list anymore, apparently.
The,
What is that? How come when are you doing story mode?
Adam.
Yeah.
I'm in story
Well, you
mode.
got your eye. You're gonna get pink eye with that, Adam.
We're playing,
I fired into that all the time.
we're playing Font Roulette here. It's a indie game.
What'd you say?
Spooky's House of Jump Scare, or sorry, Spooky's Mansion, Jump Scare Mansion, or whatever.
Spooky's free-to-play mansion where it either spins a lot, has terrible frame rate, or does.
Oh.
And you will learn about all new and exciting types of fonts.
Even ones that they forgot to put on the original JPEG, so they wrote over it later on.
So I played a version of this game way back in the day, probably back in 2015, when it kind of was first coming out.
Happy Halloween.
It was called
or something.
Spooky's House of Jump Scares, and they since gone and changed some things. Like originally, she wasn't the Grim Reaper.
What was it just then?
That ghost? Oh, that was
Little
Spooky.
Red Riding Hood or something?
Yeah, it was spooky. It was Ruby. That's what
yeah.
Ruby turns
Ruby,
into.
Okay. That's what Ruby's based on.
They changed the title, but they did not change the frame rate.
So basically what this game is a procedurally generated dungeon game where you just go through different rooms. There's 1,000 rooms in story mode, and then there's endless rooms in endless mode.
Oh, shit.
And you just gotta survive the different monsters that come around.
Procedurally generated, which means RNG,
Yep.
free to play.
Yep.
How many microtransactions are we talking here?
0.
I don't believe you.
I don't see how you could get microtransactions
Yeah, I
into
don't
this.
see.
Well, you
To be fair-
buy spooks.
You
Every time you get spooked, that's the thing you pay for.
Well, they patent that.
If you don't pay for anything, then you just walk through a bunch of hallways with nothing in them. So you're like, man, this is real boring. I'm gonna buy. Look, that $2.99. $2.99 for that soap bubbles, whatever.
Yeah,
It is.
soap bubbles on fire, Aaron.
Hang on.
It's not on fire. There's a torch behind it.
You're gonna wanna cut this in.
Look on top of its head, Aaron. That's fire coming out of the top
Yeah,
of
but
its head.
it's a torch behind the wall.
Oh, reflecting
behind
on that stone.
it. It was.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I thought you meant it was the other one reflecting off the wall. I don't think that's a reflective
shiny
surface.
ass stone. Yeah.
They did create the patent for those microtransactions in this game.
We're moving into that already.
Well, you kind of left me an opening
Okay.
here.
Well, okay. So over the last week, we discovered that Activision was in the process of patenting some new technology for their I don't know.
I believe
Destiny 2 or something probably. Go ahead.
they had already filed that patent.
Okay.
Some time ago. I think it was just discovered now.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because when you patent something, don't you need to? Isn't there like a kind of a grace period where everybody's allowed to look at the shit?
I think that's correct.
Because then it's like somebody can jump in and say like, hang on now, this is actually mine.
We found out recently, yeah.
So we discovered from these patent files that they have some sort of new technology, and you can look it up for yourself. As we said, the patent is kind of public information about how they're going to go.
Jesus. Sorry, that one actually got me. that wasn't a reaction. That was genuinely
Can you
me.
play the clip of
Rotten
Adam
soap.
watching the Doom 3 gameplay? Being like, this isn't scary.
It's not scary at all. It just startled the
paper
shit.
ghost bombs
Yeah,
from
but
the wall.
it came with a loud noise, Rory.
It's always the loud jump scares.
I'm not scared. It just startled me.
Anyway, so so this new thing that they're patenting is
God
a
damn
technology to.
I will say, just because we're talking, the jump scares are much more frequent now than they were in the first one.
Okay.
Anyway,
Not
the
every
patent.
5,000 rooms.
The patent.
So this patent is for a technology that pairs new players to a game, like very inexperienced players, with, correct me if I'm wrong, like veteran, experienced players, people who have played it a lot and unlocked stuff, or who have already paid money for items in the game that make, essentially imbalance the combat against new and old players.
Well, that's the key element. It's the spending money that is involved in the pairing, right? That offsets the balance of the play.
Yeah, for the sole purpose of frustrating those new players into spending money.
It's almost like what GTA does with their
Does it though?
microtransactions.
Is it?
Well, it's not frustrating. It's just it's incentivizing you to buy to have those microtransactions.
It totally wants you to spend money on the game. There's no two ways about it. And if you don't want to spend money, then
you go faster sideways.
There's a lot of grinding. Yeah,
it's just the remnant of Quake.
There's a lot of games that do that. But
do a strafe jump.
Yeah, do crouch jump over Ruby Rose or whatever. The actress, not the character. I'd crouch jump over her.
Yikes! Carry on about that.
She's an attractive woman. Anyway, oh man, soap bubbles though. At least in GTA though, you can still access that content if you are a new player.
Yes, yeah.
So
that's the good thing.
You can make some online friends. Even just say you can go into your settings and say looking for work, basically. Literally toggle a setting on. And if you're in a busy room, there's a good chance people are using the VIP mechanics in there, and you'll probably get an invite to their crew to help them out, and then you can fuck around with their stuff that they spend money on.
The thing, though, about GTA that I feel like makes it different, especially, is because the nature of what GTA is. It's a game with competitive elements, but it's not a competitive game.
Yeah, it's totally not a game about balance.
Competitive games, in my opinion, should not have things you can pay for to advantage yourself. The whole, I'll always hold up the example of League of Legends here. It's a game that, in every match, you all start at, level 0, right? Now, you might have, guys have, runes or whatever at advanced levels, but nothing, there's nothing huge that, if you got beat, it's because you got beat.
Yeah, well, that's even to say in GTA as well. That's just the free roam. If you were to play a competitive game type in GTA, it levels the playing field anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So the new Motor Wars thing that comes out, you can't really use anything of your own. You have to get weapon pickups. You have to find everything that you use. The imbalanced stuff is really just free roam, and it kind of doesn't really matter at that point. I mean, there's free roam missions and stuff.
And also, you raise a good point about pickups. I don't even believe in the Call of Duty model whereby you unlock guns at higher levels. I don't even believe in that. I believe in like the Resistance model. Yeah. You're around, you pick up the weapons around the map. Everybody starts off as level playing field possible because that's the truest to the competition. The spirit of competition. Yeah. And so if I don't even like unlockable weapons at higher levels, you can imagine what I think about this crap. Oh, it's so disgusting.
I totally agree with competitive stuff, but as a personally speaking, in those types of games, I like the idea of unlocking stuff to make it feel like I'm progressing towards something, And
I get that. In GTA, I like it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's definitely been skewed the longer GTA 5 has been out. I mean, it used to be, and it's also with the addition of new stuff, but I feel like if everything were to be decreased in value by anywhere from $1 million to $500,000, it would be much more chainable, but everything good in the game costs at least over $2 million. Anything that I kind of want to buy, and it takes a long time to get $2 million.
It's totally priced in a way to make you want to spend money on it. But
I think to Adam's point, I would agree that it's not ideal either. But I don't think, because it's not really a competitive structure game, I don't think it's as egregious as this.
You kind of need to look at it. Multiplayer games always change the perspective on what you need to look at. In a single-player game, you can have something that's obtainable by playing the game. You do this quest and you unlock this thing. That's fine. In a multiplayer element, though, you don't want that, because then everybody has the thing and it loses its value. Or to another point, if you see everybody going around with the same thing, you probably don't want to use it anymore, even if it's the best thing. You probably don't. It's just it loses appeal.
I know what you're saying, but you have to. But in the competitive environment, that disappears.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely, in the competitive environment.
Which I think Activision, of course, has a big role in the competitive environment. Yeah. So I think that's what worries me about this mostly, is the fact that they have such a hand in games that are supposed to be level playing.
Particularly Destiny 2, because that's current. I can only assume that this technology is in play in Destiny.
Actually, it's not.
Not yet.
It is not. No, it has not been implemented in any game yet. It was.
All right, observe.
It was a product of their research.
Observe
what? The green thing's going to turn into some sort of zombie or something? Oh, it's a zombie coming in.
Yeah.
Does it follow you now for the rest of the game?
I'm not going to spoil it, but actually,
so that's a yes.
No, but it will follow you for a while. Oh, there's way more of these than there used to be.
How fast is it?
Fast enough.
Is it slowed down by those green things?
Nope.
Oh, okay. That's cheating.
Well, it's producing those green things.
So, how do we know this technology's not at play in Destiny? Because
They've said.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
This is
there you
just...
go.
They were doing research, and they're patenting the result of their research.
Oh, no, here it is.
It has not yet been implemented in any game. Not to say that they won't, because you would... Like, public backlash is one thing. They might say, oh, don't worry, we're not going to implement it, and then come back and then say, hey... it's now called Creation Club.
No.
Something, you know? Like, that's the thing about public backlash. You wait a while, rename it to something else.
But the Creation Club, I mean, that's something that's very obvious.
Yeah.
It's a system. How do we know this is implemented in the game at all? Like, even when it is implemented, how do you know?
Oh, well, that's the thing. We probably wouldn't be able to tell. I mean, unless, you know, unless you're particularly discerning. I mean, you might be able to suspect. But you certainly wouldn't be able to tell, like, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that, is not great about the whole system. Like, I've never thought before that companies should release their matchmaking algorithms. Until now. I've never thought before that I should know how a company is doing their matchmaking. I never cared about it in Halo. Like, you play a game of Halo online, who cares that they're doing your matchmaking? You playing Halo, like, who gives a shit? But yeah, this is ugh.
Yeah, there's got to be there's got to be an algorithm there though. It's not just like these 9 players want to play, match them up with those players, you know.
And this is so short-sighted too,
shit.
especially in the like. Good luck ever breaking into esports or any of the to be future potentially profitable endeavors in games like this. Like, it's a very short-sighted thing to do something like this. It's profit now. Basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so than it was before.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's gross. I think we all think it's gross. But it was kind of interesting to see because it was so explicit.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even like
unless this is Activision trying to be a good guy and they're patenting this scumbag technology so they can like make sure that nobody else ever uses it. But I mean,
I think the odds of that are pretty low.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Run.
But yeah, that's another thing that happened in the world of game publishers is EA closed Visceral. Visceral, the maker of games that me and Andrew like and Adam hates.
I don't like. It's not that I hate them. I just don't think they're.
Like
everyone
Visceral.
is. Everybody's like, oh man, Dead Space was one of the greatest ever horror games, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not scary.
Horror games don't have to be scary though.
I guess
Didn't have enough cardboard popsicle sticks.
In fact, I believe the trademark of horror technically originally in literary was like shock and gore, right, as opposed to like thrillers. So they don't exist anymore. They've stopped existing. They were working on a fun Star Wars game. I say fun as I'm quoting the like writer.
Didn't you work on Assassin's Creed?
I forget what she's
might be
worked
another
on.
studio. I don't know.
Yeah, they were working on a Star Wars game whose fate I believe is TBA at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars game could have been cool.
Another canceled non-DICE Star Wars game.
But here's the thing, right? Visceral, like, it's like, yeah, Visceral was working on a Star Wars game, but EA was there too, and EA can take cool things and make them into Dead Space 3. I mean, I don't think when we picture this hypothetical Star Wars game, we should be picturing the best hypothetical Visceral game. I think we should be picturing something Visceral did and then something EA would have come in and messed with.
Yeah, well, it's pretty clear cut that this probably wasn't going to be good because it was either something Visceral didn't want to make or something EA didn't want them to make.
Yeah.
So
both of those are bad.
It's either shelved
I agree,
and I mean, like, even if you look at the last, like, I don't know, you could blame EA, but like you said, Dead Space 3, I don't think that didn't sell as well as EA wanted it to.
Yeah, but I feel like it didn't sell as well. It was never going to sell because EA wanted Call of Duty dollars, and it was never going to be a Call of Duty competitor.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be a big.
But I can't recall many people ever talking about it.
That's because it wasn't very good.
Because what they did is they took a game that had a specific audience and then reformatted the game to go after a different audience.
But it's not that it wasn't making Call of Duty dollars. It just wasn't making dollars at all.
Well, yeah, because it was trying to make.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't really a Dead Space game anymore. That was the problem because people weren't buying it. Like, and also publishers, as we've seen in the past, have sort of outrageous expectations for how games are going to perform. A great example would be like 2013's Tomb Raider.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
The best Tomb Raider ever in terms of commercial success.
This is
Is that we're in Futurama now?
A lot of people would make the case that
don't like this one bit.
I'm sure there are people who also make the case that that's just the best Tomb Raider game ever. Period.
My original playthrough.
Maybe Aaron's one. I'm not sure if that's your favorite. I'm not sure. I just prefer that or Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I think, yeah, but the first one's probably, well, I don't know. The second one's probably better.
But that didn't meet expectations, right?
Yeah,
and
I know.
If that didn't meet expectations, then expectations are madness.
They're both equally good games, I would say.
Yeah. So, I mean, EA closing down Visceral is kind of sad, but at the same time, it's not like Visceral was being Visceral lately anyways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, assuming they're not just migrating the studio to another one like they did with, was it like EA Romania or some shit like that?
Yeah.
But they had a bunch of people working on Mass Effect 2, or not Mass Effect, Mass Effect Andromeda. And then they got a bunch of people, what fucking studio worked on that? It was like EA Zimbabwe or some weird ass, some obscure studio that, isn't working on AAA games that they outsource all this to.
Well,
and then, but if all these people are going to be let go now, then I'm assuming Visceral is just going to be another studio.
We can't forget though that now the Star Wars game is being taken over by EA Vancouver, who make only the best science fiction related games.
Madden.
Like Madden. Don't
you want Star Wars Madden?
Remember Madden 2014 and its epic plot about transhumanism?
That was the best one. 2013 was better.
Well, I didn't like the fantasy setting, if I'm honest.
No, that was only the first bit. You didn't get past the first bit.
Oh, did it change? So did like a Daikatana thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Can you play these? Is this a game inside a game?
Oh man, Pony Island.
Oh my God. Get all the achievements.
This is like that bit in Wolfenstein.
Are you the ghost or are you Pac-Man? Oh, you're probably...
Jesus.
Oh, you're the ghost.
Yeah.
You win?
Yeah.
Were you the ghost?
Yeah.
I killed Man-Pac.
So you just have to kill the worst Pac-Man player ever.
Mall
okay.
of the Spook.
Is this like a Dead Rising thing, I guess? Mall of the Spook.
Are you Hatsune Miku or whatever? That 16-year-old that everyone draws porn of?
Yep.
Legal in Japan or whatever?
Yeah, I guess that probably is legal in Japan. Who knows? Anyways. Yeah, so... Yeah, I think that's pretty much it about Visceral. Alright.
Let's probably wake that back up.
It's too bad, because I mean, like,
before we started.
Probably.
I don't think the game is very scary. I certainly don't think it's as good as everybody says, but I do think it's a good...
Dead Space.
Dead Space. I do think it was a good game. I don't think the studio deserved to be shut down. Certainly don't think it deserved the treatment that EA was giving it.
Well, there's more there than we were privy to, I would say. I would assume that there's just been oh man, every 90s kid not even on the top of the leaderboard. Oh shit. There's probably some disagreements and some conflicts of interest and stuff going on behind the scenes that they just said, you know what, fuck this, pull the plug.
Yeah.
So there you go. But I mean, again, this is Square's job to IO Interactive. They just they just became their own studio. Now they're doing their own thing, and their games are probably going to be better off.
Oh yeah,
Visceral will just be their own studio. They probably won't be called Visceral anymore.
Do you think this might be the beginning of the end of big publishers, where people are going to realize that hey, we actually don't need these big publishers for their money. We can do it on our own.
Well, I don't think it's that. It's just small developers getting bought out by massive companies with sums of money they can't say no to.
I think there's a point there, but I also think that like the same kinds of things have been happening with movie studios for years. And it's sort of like these, sort of conflicts of interest with like directors and such, right? And then they go off, maybe they make an indie film or something like that. But ultimately, I think there are situations where movie studios or game publishers are can be especially effective, just given the right sort of.
No one's offered to buy my production company.
Opportunity, maybe a good example of like a great creative mind coming in with a big publisher in like a success story would be like BioShock, right?
That was a lot of enunciations.
Like where you I mean,
Shock.
Ken Levine is a really great like creative mind, but I also don't know if BioShock would have been possible without the funding of 2K. Or there probably would have been some sort of separate version of it. You could have done an indie version.
That's totally that meeting, that initial meeting with EA's coming in to talk with the Visceral developers, and then they go, we're not really interested in being bought out by a mogul company such as yourself. And EA says, okay, but I'm sure there's a project somewhere that you wanted to make and you don't have the funding for.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Here's a bag of money.
Yeah.
And then so they let them make the first one, and then they just milk the shit out of it until the company, turns to dust.
And I mean, of course,
that's a cool
Aaron
JPEG.
raises a good point because there's a of course Ken Levine is not making BioShock games anymore. Although I will say they did have a good run.
Do you think that's what like Jordan looks like when he takes the mask off?
What is that? Oh, there's the other one. Oh, there's Jordan.
It's the Reedus fetus.
Oh, man. Norman Fetus.
Can't wait for that game. Sorry. They,
What, Silent Hills or Death Stranding?
Death Stranding.
The one that's coming out.
Yeah. The one that they're actually making. I'm so absurdly pumped. We got some other stuff here. Aaron, I can't see the topic list from here. What's the next topic?
Oh, man. I'm glad we have 2 topics lists, and Rory can't see either of them.
Yeah, I can't see it from here. Yeah.
Well, I heard that you were real brave or something, Rory.
Oh, yeah.
Rory,
so,
No.
There's a new,
guess we'll just ignore
vaguely new web browser out called Brave.
Netscape? Oh.
Yeah, Netscape. Brave, it's currently in beta on Windows and Linux and a few other things. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. Like, just try it out. I haven't had too much time with it, but I've had a bit of time with it now. Like, enough to try out a few features. So
can you use the internet?
You can use the internet with it, which is a big plus.
Tick that box.
So the sort of selling point, if you will, of Brave, it sort of sells itself on 2 different things. The first of which is that it has built-in ad blocking.
Ooh.
Right? So
I feel like that's not going to go over well with endorsements.
You bet it won't.
For this browser.
And I wanted to test, where did the ad blocking come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to a few websites or whatever that had traditionally banner ads, and most of them were blocked. They say they block ads based on like certain privacy concerns, and so they had blocked a few of the ads. They give more alerts, I believe, than Google does in terms of when a website is trying to do something, like ask for your location and stuff like that. They're a little more rigorous with that.
They let you know when the websites are doing a bit of cock grabbing.
And they have like a thing in the corner, a little logo you can press to see currently what's going on the website. Like, here's how much stuff we're blocking. You can click for more details, etc. And then I was like, okay, let me go onto YouTube and try to get an ad. Right? So, Vivo, all this, none of them, not a one. So, on that front, good.
Fuck.
Is it, though?
Like, well, I mean, it's good at what it does. Is it good overall? That's sort of up for debate.
Well, it's good
but
yeah.
It's effective at what it claims to do.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, geez. Oh, man. Oh, geez.
So then and you can also, I believe, like, whitelist certain things. Sort of like an ad block.
People are going to do that.
And so...
It's getting rid of ads on websites fine. Getting rid of ads on YouTube, like I know I totally use ad block all the time because a lot of it is very intrusive.
Yeah.
But that's not good as a default.
I mean, it's not good as a default on a traditional web browser, but I feel like if you're getting this browser, it's because you're just like, I don't want ads.
Yeah.
Like
same as downloading an ad blocker, I guess.
Basically, yeah. And so the visual of it is pretty good, like good use of screen real estate. Like it doesn't block with like
aesthetically, what is it like? Is it similar to
It's-
Chrome or?
It's similar to Chrome, except it's like it's tabs on bottom as opposed to tabs on top.
Oh, that seems like.
No, like sorry,
Unnecessarily.
below the bar, not on bottom.
Oh,
I should clarify.
I was
It's tabs below the bar.
yeah, down at the bottom of the screen.
So that's it has good screen real estate.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
well, if the bar still needs to be connected to the tab, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like it's just they're
Okay.
just below the bar as opposed
Yeah,
to
but I
just
just
on
don't
top.
like because with Chrome, you have Chrome browser open.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming you're using the same thing, viewer, maybe I don't know, but or Thomas. But the bar is inside the tab. So if you switch tabs, you can see the bar is like it's telling you the website you're on.
I'm sorry?
Like you can see we have our Asana tab open. It
Yeah.
says the URL bar. That's what
Yeah.
you're referring to, yes.
Yeah, the URL
It
bar
says
is
the
there.
website, Asana, whatever.
Yeah.
If you switch tabs, it displays the correct website because it's.
And it'll do the same thing. It's just they're just below the URL bar.
I can't visualize it. So.
The just move this here.
Yeah, but how does it connect to the tab? Anyway, whatever, it's fine. It's a,
I kind of
Doesn't
actually
it?
see what you're saying, but they're squared in such a way that you can still like read them
okay.
well. So visually good. The issue is, so this is based on Chromium, not Chrome, which means if you don't know, so
the element.
Chromium is
An element.
it's also an electronic duo, Canadian electronic
No.
duo from Quebec.
No.
But
Copyright.
it's
Stop
the
it.
Linux version, if you will, of Chrome.
Oh, that sounds like a
Uh,
lawsuit.
it's
It's a Linux version of Chrome.
yeah.
So they've ruined Chrome.
No, it's
You can
very
make
good.
your own browser. or something.
No, like
Yeah,
it's
I
fully
can't make my own browser.
it's,
Well, you're
it's
Minty
fully
Fedora
like
or
established. Like it's a really, if you're using Linux, it's going to be one of the few familiar things because it's so much like Chrome. But the issue with one of the biggest reasons to use Chrome, forget about the speed and all of that, because there are lots of fast browsers.
Is being able to mute tabs.
Oh Christ!
Muting tabs is good for sure, but one of the
No.
big things is the plugin support.
Being able to pin tabs
right?
as well.
The plugin support on Chrome is top tier, right? And
Run.
in contrast, the plugin support on Chromium is good.
Yeah, I
but
mean, look at all the plugins I got.
the plugins, the default plugins, not so good, right?
That
so,
green
like for instance,
ghost monster is chasing me. By the way, for whatever, why I'm freaking out. Fuck that.
one of the big drawbacks if you're a first-time Linux user and using Chromium is the difficulty you're going to find in watching a show on Netflix. Because
You go to Netflix.com and it's like, what in the fuck is this?
it'll be like, you can't watch this. You don't have the right stuff to watch this.
You don't have Flash. You don't
it's-
have Java or whatever.
So as a result, one of the first things I did on this browser, since I found out it was based on Chromium, was I went on a Netflix. And
Were you okay? Let's
yeah,
full disclosure here.
sure, yeah,
Were you using this on
Windows.
a Windows device?
Windows
Okay.
device,
Man,
yeah,
oh man.
native Windows device came with Windows, and so
Like a laptop or
well,
something.
it was a laptop, yeah.
Okay.
It
So
was.
have you used it on Linux?
I have not used it on Linux.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I thought that's where you were going with this.
no. But since it was based on Chromium, I thought it might have Linux sort of properties, and it does. Because as soon as you go onto Netflix, it's like big alert comes up. It's like, hey, to do this, you're gonna need the Widevine plugin, and so you can decide to use that if you want. We're just telling you that you need it. And so I was like, all right, I want it. I want to see how it works.
That's cool. You can see their shadows there.
And so it installed. I didn't like that there was no progress on the install. It didn't tell you when it was done. That was a drawback.
It doesn't tell you like what the download speed is and whatever.
It would if doing a regular download, but not for a plugin, which I didn't like.
With Chrome, if you download something, it pops up on the bottom.
I think that does that too. For regular
If
download.
you click on it, it goes into a whole brand new tab and it gives you all the information on the
Oh
download.
fuck that.
So that I'm not sure
Oh,
if it does.
fuck
I haven't
no.
tested
Okay.
that yet. But this one didn't give me any progress on the plugin. But so anyway, so I like clicked on a random show on Netflix
Oh,
or whatever,
no.
right? It was just something on the front page. And of course, what's on the front page right now is Mindhunter.
They show like making of with Riley Reid or whatever, and now there's porn on Netflix. Anyway, continue.
Okay, we'll revisit this in a moment. But,
There's no topic there.
Please leave me alone.
so
No.
Anyways, so it took a moment to get going, I guess, because maybe the plugin wasn't done, so I refreshed, and it started playing,
man.
and
Fucking
it was jittery for about 2-3 seconds, then it ran smooth,
Aw,
but
Jesus.
the timer didn't run smooth. So the timer on it would sometimes skip a second, even though the video was playing smoothly.
Oh, no.
So that is
I
a
just lost.
massive
I just
drawback,
Oh,
right,
get
in
away
my
from me.
opinion. Now, it's still
No.
in beta, so bear that in mind.
What was that?
Oh, that's one of the monsters. So
Can you fuck it?
No. Well, technically it ate me.
Oh. What part of you first?
All right. Does anybody else want to tag in here?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh man, you got 175 out of 0 or something.
So,
I don't know. That seems like a less important thing than the video being smooth.
it is, but it's a more peculiar thing. Like, I agree, totally agree.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect the viewing experience, but you gotta wonder why.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
Like-
probably some weird algorithm that estimates how much time is left in the video,
Yeah.
and it's like this much.
It's the Windows guy, right? 4 hours, 2 minutes, 10 years. Anyway, so I mean, experience with it so far, it's pretty cool. But the reality is, the browser game is hard to jump into, and a lot of the claims that it makes, like, hey, protecting your privacy and whatnot, I have yet to see verification of. So, like, maybe it's true.
Maybe this is a
maybe
Trump
it isn't.
browser to bypass that whole VPN thing.
But
I
I mean,
have a VPN. Yeah, right.
but I mean, this isn't
Sure
like.
you do.
This isn't Tor. This isn't something that has years of use. It's still in beta, and so I have yet to see full verification of its claims.
Is Tor the one that people use to troll, like to get access to like the dark
is
web and
correct.
shit?
That's Thor.
Okay.
No, it's Tor.
Although Tor is the original pronunciation of the Norse god.
Or what?
Tor is today people who are named Thor from like Sweden and such, it's spelt
Yep.
Tor, right?
But it's spelled Thor.
I'm sorry. No, it's spelt Tor.
Oh, T-O-R.
T-O-R. Yeah.
Or T-O-U-R.
With like the thing over the O, I think.
Big umlaut.
Yes, yeah. I do not know any languages that feature that. Or, like, I've never studied any languages that featured that.
Oh, Scandinavian. They love all that nonsense.
Yes.
Would recommend browser.
I mean, so far it was pretty cool. I mean, certainly if you want an ad blocker.
Still waiting for the pubes to sprout.
Uh,
Got some of that, brace face.
well, see, stuff can creep up when you use a browser for a long time. So I'll be using it over the next little while. And, like, you never know what kind of stuff can get to you, right? Like, my honeymoon impression of the Elder Scrolls Online when it first came out was top level, right?
Well,
like,
me
I
and
was
Andrew,
like,
me and
this is
Andrew
quite
fixed
good.
that right quick.
What fixed it was me playing it more. But now
Oh.
it's been fixed again, so hopefully we can
We'll
go back
show
and
you
move.
what you're enjoying.
Yeah, so that's that on the browser.
Oh man, it's the thing
what's
from
the next?
Majoka
Oh my
Magica.
god.
Why is his shadow having a seizure? Anyway.
The new controller.
So yeah, Rory,
Huh.
your greatest wish of all time was to have a PlayStation 4 controller, sans lightbar, and maybe touchpad.
Definitely sans lightbar.
And what has happened?
So they made one for kids. It has no light bar, which they insisted was just essential, and it has no touchpad.
Yeah, for years, didn't they say that it was impossible
Yeah.
to make one without
and
a
it
light
turns out
bar?
it's totally possible. Except instead of releasing one for normal-sized human beings, they released one for kids.
Well,
so
let's preface for let's correct that. They released one for what they claim are normal-sized human beings, when in fact it is entirely the Asian markets and Rory's of the world. Friggin' infant hands already.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm gonna get the PS4 controller.
And for those who don't know, the guys are always making fun of me for the PS3 controller and the fact that it fits my hands and doesn't fit anyone else's hands.
Can this thing leave me alone?
Get two of these.
Is it still after me?
Yeah. No, the PS4 controller is much
Yeah,
bigger than the PS3
man.
controller.
So we got here Xbox One controller, Elite version, PS4 version, regular, because nobody cares about this. This is an okay controller. Obviously, the thumbstick here is peeling off. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
the fucking it's too
Right,
like
safe.
even like this. Like if I'm playing normally, if I put my hands like you normally play with a controller, you put your palms of your hands right into the nestles of that controller. Look where my thumbs are. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can.
So here.
Like I can't. My thumbs are like I can pretty well press the bumpers
Yeah, you can
with my
press
thumbs.
the bumpers. Yeah.
The D-pad, I gotta use the palm of my thumb in order to press all these buttons. And if I use the sticks, my thumbs touch. So like this controller is way too small.
Whereas I mean, for a point of reference, like when I hold the controller,
and that's in the palms of your hands.
it's
as well.
not. Yeah, it's in the palms of my hands.
Which is why
and my thumb can't get anywhere even close to the bumpers. Right? Like I can barely touch the triangle button with my thumb.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I know
right?
you complained about that before, because with the Xbox controller, obviously, if you're living in a cave, the thumbstick is where the D-pad is on the PS.
So that's why. So if I was to hold the Elite controller and I need to rapidly do this, it's kind of hard on the thumb as opposed to like here, right? Like it's this distance is noticeable for me. Although for the record,
I think the thumbstick
You have
is
18
further
app
away.
updates available.
Oh man, new CC's out.
Yes, but so for the only game I would play on a pad, which is a fighting game, you don't use the thumbstick, you use a D-pad. And
yeah, but
here,
I meant like
this
if you're
hand
playing
goes
a
here.
racing game or something.
Okay, so yeah, for
Or
a
even a
racing game,
shooter.
PS4 controller, I prefer the PS3 controller because the
I
thumb pad
disagree.
was, the thumb was a little
for
closer.
one reason. Actually,
What?
they kind of fixed it with this. PS3 controller's worse, but these triggers fucking suck.
Okay, the Aaron has the triggers were like
Yeah, they curve down.
they curved down, so you would lay it down, and because of the way the controllers are curved, they're angled down. It would press triggers when you laid them down, which is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
So they finally released a PS4 controller, but it's for kids and it doesn't have a light. I'm like, just release an adult version without a light.
Throw up a picture. It's basically a NES controller.
Yeah, tiny little thing. Probably still fit my hands, but yeah.
The thumbsticks are way closer together, and it's wired.
What?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a wired controller. I've heard this explained to me because it's for kids. They don't want kids losing them. I guess that makes sense. Maybe your kid is an idiot.
No, it doesn't make sense.
But
by
it's
the way.
wired. It's a why
You can
is it
unplug
wired?
a wire. It's
Yeah, but
it's
you know,
not
I don't
rooted into the ground.
Well, I guess
Like,
it keeps the kid in one spot. I don't know, but anyway, that doesn't make sense because my niece plays with the Xbox all the time, and she's totally content with sitting at a foot away from the TV.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's
I mean, there's nothing like a kid. Like kids do this. Like
yeah. Well, Charlie, yeah, she does that all the time. We'll be sitting either on the couch or over there or somewhere on the floor, something like that, and she'll like hobble all the way towards the TV until she's like this far away from it, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm way too close," and then backs up.
Sure, yeah.
I got a confession. I've never been beyond room 200.
Oh,
This is the
nice.
farthest I've ever
High
been.
score. Anyway, fuck whoever made that controller. We now know that this light bar is possible to come off the rest of this housing. I got a solution for you here. Take this friggin' touchpad off as well. Take the light bar off. Fix the triggers. Make these not feces.
no.
Use these ones, I guess. These are much better. And also include the
To be
hair
fair,
triggers.
these triggers are way better than the PS3 ones.
They
Since they're actually curved,
vastly improved.
They're
but
curved in the right direction,
still
but
awful.
the controller's still angled down, so it still presses when you lay things down.
And move the joystick to where the D-pad is. This is just for me now, maybe. I'll show you. I want to wake that up again.
We want to...
Make an alternate version with the thumbstick up here and the D-pad
Can I also
down
make a
here.
suggestion? If you see the Xbox analog stick it's totally inward.
Oh,
There's no
Christ.
outward components on the inside, whereas the PS4 is bad at that because there's an outward component on the inside, which is a dumb way to make things.
Also, I'm pretty sure every single PS4 controller ever has had this happen. And I'll just show the camera.
God.
Get this going on here.
So there's improvements to be made definitely with the current controller, and now we know but for anybody who's wondering why I'm so picky about the light bar, it's because the PS4 controller has solidly no battery
it
life.
lasts 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
At most.
And
with
you
full
can
charge.
turn it down to like almost too bright as opposed to like absurd.
The supernova levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that started happening. I picked up my PS4 on whenever it came out, November 2013.
Yeah.
I played halfway through Black Flag, stopped,
Oh man.
Yeah.
and then started playing GTA with
Look
the
who it
guys.
is.
Oh man, it's Han Solo or whatever. And within the first week of me playing GTA with the guys, this
Yeah.
broke
Already. Yeah.
like a half of a game and like 2 sessions of GTA and the friggin' rubber started coming off the thumbstick.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, this thing, I've used this like every single day for when did this come out? Like
God
2 years
damn.
ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2015?
Yeah, we were doing the. We
Yeah.
had just started the podcast.
Yeah, and look at this now. It looks like it's brand new. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
This has been
Am I being
through. It's been
stopped
through
by something
Adam. It's been through hard use over. Now I do have a few complaints with this thing, and I know other Elite controllers were totally off
It's
topic,
chasing
but
me here.
other Elite controllers have had issues. This one actually has an issue where this thumbstick lifts. I don't know why that is.
To be fair, I think the PS4 thumbsticks lift. By default.
Oh,
Maybe, but
Oh,
this
I don't
one
like this
doesn't.
one bit. Oh my
really?
God.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
odd.
Yeah. Which I find weird. I actually took the controller
Help me.
apart. And when I
Oh
took
my
it apart,
God.
it was actually missing a screw right there, so I had to put another
Oh,
one in
okay,
it. So
yeah.
nice job, Phil. You fucked up on this one. I took this thumbstick. Well, actually, I took this thumbstick off and put it on this one, and moved this one over there, and it actually worked pretty good for a while.
Is that darkness getting
A
closer?
little bit of play. When
Oh,
you
no,
rotate
there's a
it,
thing.
Yeah.
and it lifts. It started lifting again. So I don't know why that is, but other than that small complaint, it's a fantastic controller.
So,
So fuck
Adam,
PS4's NES controller.
last week I gave my take on Star Trek Discovery. Now that you've watched it, what do you think?
I watched it. Okay, so I've seen the first
joke
3
nobody's
episodes. In the first 2 being the what do you call it, the prequel to the show, the primer to the show,
The premiere?
The
premiere.
pilots.
Yeah, but it's not really. It doesn't. It's kind of the show, but it isn't.
I don't know, prologue? I don't know.
Yeah, the prologue, I suppose. I've seen the prologue and then one
prolapse.
episode of the show proper.
What is going on here?
It's the monster that's chasing me. Sorry, people in the audience who have epilepsy. And I thought it was pretty good. The first
pretty
2 episodes are. I get what you mean by the bad dialogue, because some of the
Yeah,
dialogue
Rocky,
is
isn't it?
atrocious. And I'm not 100% sure about the. Oh, get away. Oh, Jesus, I can't even see. The main character, she's minor spoiler, but you do find this out very quickly. She's a human who was raised by Sarek on Vulcan, so
Yes.
she's a human Vulcan
God
essentially.
damn it.
What?
I was never going to watch that.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Go ahead.
And yeah, so she's. I don't understand why they did that, because why not make her a Vulcan? Or why not make her, like, she's like, they're trying to have the best of both worlds with this character, where half the time she's acting like a Vulcan and half the time she's acting like a human.
Why not have her be that white and black alien from Beyond?
Because it's different continuity. This isn't continuity with the old TV shows, not the new movies, which I thought
So
was interesting.
Yeah.
So the species aren't?
I don't.
Like, if Vulcans can exist in Chris Pine's forehead, why can't they exist in Leonard Nimoy also?
I don't know.
Because, like, who's the missus, like, Eggsy's bitch or whatever? Who the...
Sometimes I think when you ask questions, my head is going to explode.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The white and black chick
mean
from
J-Lo?
Beyond.
Yeah,
Who?
he means J-Lo.
Okay.
That was her name?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of teeth. But also, that actress, I don't even know what
Yes.
I'm talking about anymore.
So I thought that was a weird aspect for the show to take.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I'm with you.
But
I
at
hear
the
what you're
same
saying.
time, it kind of works. I don't
Yeah.
understand why the Federation hates this woman, because like, you started the war. No, she didn't. Except she tried to stop the war. She did
Is
something
she
that was
white?
stupid. She's like, whatever we do, we can't kill this guy.
Is she white, Rory?
And then she
No.
kills this
well,
guy.
I have a feeling I know why people hate her.
The
Real progressive space show. Nice work, ABC or whatever network this is on.
so I would so here's my suspicion, Adam. My suspicion is that outside of just doing like a character arc thing, because that can be done in any show, something Star Trek specific, I think that's probably a callback to a few times. Now, it doesn't happen very often, but the few times you'll remember that the Federation, I'll say, was wrong or did something sort of suspicious.
yeah.
I'll try to get you the best example. A few examples are coming to mind. maybe like some, especially some of the alternate timelines, like when who in Voyager went forward in time and Geordi was captain. Was it Tom and Chakotay?
Yeah.
And they had just immense difficulty.
That was one of the times they went forward in time. They went forward in time a couple of times. That show didn't have a lot of ideas.
No, it did not. Though in retrospect, I think it's nowhere near as
Community
flawed,
with the
sort of
second
flawed
paintball
as it was made out to be.
Yeah, it just does. It wasn't on par with it. It was a hard act to follow for Deep Space Nine and TNG were hard acts to follow. I mean, so
I agree 100%. And so I would say it was a callback to a few of those times, or like say Insurrection, things like that.
There's only so many storylines you can do.
You'd be surprised how many get repeated in that show.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, all right, you're on a spaceship and you find crap. Like, that's it.
I mean, while
God damn it,
you do have a point, the other series really didn't feel like that. You know what I mean? And they ran longer.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about how long some of these, how many episodes of Star Trek, which is one of the things that impressed me about Discovery is how many episodes of Star Trek there have been, and they're still trying to preserve the continuity. Tell me more about it, Adam.
Are we supposed to hate this character?
Jason Isaacs. What do you think of Jason Isaacs?
I thought he was really good.
I thought he's a great American accent.
Yeah, and so he plays the cap. So you're not actually playing the main character isn't actually the captain.
Mm-hmm.
Just giving you your virginity back.
Oh man, yeah. The main character isn't actually the captain, which I thought was is an interesting because that's the first time ever.
Yep,
in a Star Trek show. So I thought that was I was a little bit weirded out by that first. I didn't like it, but I think that actually works for the show because it gives the show an air of mystery. Because obviously, the captain would know everything going on in the ship, but because she's not the captain, she kind of has to discover. And there is a bit of a mystery to be discovered with this ship. It's. I mean, they still do capture the Federation, Starfleet, Star Trek feeling of space and exploration. At least with the first episode I saw.
I feel like that's a better setting, like being one of the plebs on the spaceship instead of being the dude in charge.
And
it does work for it.
Yeah. She definitely is a pleb. She's not even like a bridge officer, at least not when I saw.
Yeah.
So which is
way to whitewash it.
Cool. I mean, not really, because the second in command is an alien who I don't think we've ever a species we've never seen before.
I don't remember.
Is it a white alien?
No, it's not Jayla.
I do want to address something small. So this show has been called out as by Star Trek fans for they feel like they're being preached to. It's not preachy.
It isn't
in the slightest.
Now keep in mind, I've only seen 3 episodes, but I haven't noticed it to be preachy at all.
Preachy? What do you
mean?
They
feel like it's like a lot of the complaints I saw were like, oh, this is just like SJWs taking over Star Trek and throwing their beliefs into it, but it's totally not. And also for the record, like Star Trek has always in its incarnations had personal beliefs of the writers thrown into the world. Like, to a certain extent...
Well, I mean, you have to.
Even beyond that, though. Even beyond the sort of unavoidable... But yeah, you're right. You have to draw from something, right?
Christ.
But they've always done that in Star Trek when they talk about... Because in a lot of ways, Star Trek has a lot of elements, even though there's war and stuff like that. It has a lot of, utopian elements to it. And so different writers of the series will cast onto the show their sort of utopian vision. And so that's definitely not new, but it showed you won't feel like you're being preached to at all while you're watching it.
No. I thought that the acting was really good, and the special effects were really good.
The acting's way better than the dialogue, isn't it?
Yeah, especially in the first 2 episodes, although I think that's more the fact that they haven't found themselves yet.
The dialogue in the first episode is pretty
That's
horrendous.
always the thing.
And they have to, and I mean, to be
right.
fair, they have to explain. It's been, how long was it since Enterprise? At least over 10 years.
Oh my god, yeah, it's been
12?
forever.
Well,
They have to explain Star Trek to a new TV audience, so I think a lot of it has to be exposition.
some shows get away with that. It's probably network TV shows that always have rough first seasons.
I think it's network TV, because,
oh, no.
obviously, in, some shows, some HBO shows, they make sure to start out, heavy from the get-go.
Yeah, I wonder, they must film, a bunch of, spots first,
No one, in my opinion, is better at premiere episodes than AMC. For instance, you watch an AMC, try to find me an AMC show with a bad premiere episode. They don't exist.
Yeah.
The Mad Men, excellent, legendary, in my opinion, maybe one of the best premiere episodes ever.
Great pilot.
Is it better than Mission to Farpoint, Rory?
Oh God,
Breaking Bad had a good pilot. Walking Dead was a good pilot. I mean,
Yeah.
there's only episode that adhered to the comic books.
It's the best episode of the whole damn show.
Yeah, and that's other than that. Better Call Saul. First episode.
Haven't seen it.
I will
so-
say the premiere,
good.
the premiere of the show did a very good job of setting up the rest of the series in terms of like the conflict.
How great is the captain?
In the premiere?
Yeah,
Luscious Draco or
Excellent. I
something.
wish
Yeah,
she stuck around. I hope we get to see
terrific.
more for her in flashbacks.
Yep, me too.
Oh, it's not Luscious Draco.
No. That's the that's the captain. Later, spoilers.
Oh.
Uh,
Yeah, so one of them dies
and
or explodes violently.
yeah, he's terrific. Great American accent. So joins the list of English actors with
Oh, that's that Isaac guy that
with
I thought was
Jason
related to.
Isaacs. Yeah,
That watermark on the top looks like a butt, and it's got like a little fleck of something next to it, like it flew out. Like kind of got involved in that fart a little bit. Anyway.
Yeah.
He joins, Hugh Laurie.
Oh
And
man,
all
it's an acronym or whatever. What the game was. Anachronox.
Anachronox. Yeah.
Anachromumba.
Yeah, you guys didn't like that.
No, well, it's not that we didn't like it. We just made the fun.
I didn't know it was turn-based, and that threw me off.
I bet Andrew was watching that furious.
Oh,
that he
I
wasn't
hope
there
so.
for the
I hope
filming
so.
of that.
You're screaming at us from his apartment on another island.
Now, Adam, do you agree with my assessment that the Star Trek of the show, like in terms of the universe and stuff like that, is pretty good?
What do you mean?
Like their ability to adhere more or less to continuity and create an atmosphere similar to old Star Trek. Like I think they have a lot of trappings of old Star Trek.
Yes, but the crucial aspect of it is it's different enough that it has its own identity because
You bet.
they introduce elements in the first episode, not the premiere, the pilot, but in the first proper episode, so episode 3.
Yeah.
That's it's similar, but it is different.
Yes, and I think so. The interesting magic is going to be the way they pull this off. See, the problem setting a show in the middle of two other things in the same continuity is how do you wind it up at the end, right? Like, how do you Rogue One it? It's going to be...
That Rogue One, though.
It's going to be impossibly tricky to do that in this case.
Yes, yeah.
Because
it has to link into the original series.
which is going to be so hard.
Because the Klingons look different, which is already
Well, there's that, but let's pretend that they had effects back then.
Yeah.
Even that,
And money.
how they're gonna be able to forget about all the stuff that happened is going to be
because they introduced a thing in the
task.
first episode that's
Yep.
I don't remember that in the original series.
Yeah, this is going to be very tough.
Also, that thing in the first episode, the mystery of the first episode that she finds out after, that I don't want to spoil it because it's new, but that doesn't make a lick of sense.
It was burritos.
Black Alert,
man,
the thing
is
that
this-
causes Black
Yeah,
Alert.
yeah, the thing
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
We're in the Arrival. Also with developers, probably.
What is this?
I don't know. Just go back.
Was that Angry Joe at the end?
Probably. I mean, we're in Arrival.
Looked like
You guys see Arrival?
Yeah, I loved Arrival.
That's totally Arrival.
That was my favorite movie that
it?
year. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mustang got it first, but technically Mustang came out the previous year. It was just that
I don't
it
know
came
what
out in
that is.
Canada this year. Aaron still doesn't know what it is.
That's a car, I
some
guess.
year after I named it my movie of the year.
A Mustang?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Still never.
Still watch it.
I've never seen anything on it. I don't even know what the font they chose looks like.
It was on Netflix.
Oh.
Last I watched it. Terrific movie.
Arrival was okay.
I loved it. I really like
It came together, but
what's his name?
Jeremy Renner?
No, the director. Denis Villeneuve. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark O'Brien was in that.
Was in the film?
Yeah.
What character?
He was one of the military guys.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm with
I
you.
mentioned that because he literally grew up across the street. He went to school with my sister.
Well, Yugimoto, I see that you have fallen into my trap. This isn't a regular card game, but a shadow game. Does this look like a place where Yugimoto would fight some 2-bit villain
Sure
before he went
does.
on to fight Pegasus?
Looks like GoldenEye or something.
Yeah.
It kind of Adam does have a point though. Oh, that ladder is locked. What a shame. Yeah. So
He's also in Halt and Catch Fire.
Oh
And
yeah,
is it-
yeah.
is
Halt
it
and Catch
some
Fire.
other-
Yeah.
And some other movie with The Rock or something like that. Or no, Hugh Jackman. They
Oh,
did a movie
okay.
with Hugh Jackman coming up. I forget what it's called. Mark's a nice dude. Anyway, we got Switch.
This is hilarious. So the Switch, they have their 4.0.0 update, right? And now you
Sure.
can capture up to 30 seconds of video. This is a hilarious. It's like I checked. They were serious. I thought they were joking.
That's the spookiest thing
Like-
of the evening.
30 seconds of video.
Now,
Get
so-
out of here.
So the real question is, what do you then do with this 30 seconds of footage?
Nothing. I'm
Is it
assuming.
for archival purposes only?
I wonder, can you upload it to anything?
Yeah.
Oh god. Well, you know you can't upload it to YouTube, right?
That would be amazing.
It's a video of Nintendo.
Record 30 seconds of Mario, then it says like, would you like to share
Copyright
it?
strike?
It's like share to YouTube, and then it gets uploaded to YouTube, copyright strike.
Hang on, what is this?
So you on the Switch with the new update, you can record 30 seconds of video.
Oh,
30 whole seconds.
30
Adam.
whole seconds.
We're in the future now, boys.
The I just remember because I saw like the IGN news show about it, and they were like, "Can't wait to see your Zelda clips." I was like, "There's nothing I want to do less than watch someone play Zelda for 30 seconds."
Well, the funny thing
Does that
is,
have a doorknob on it, like a
Yeah.
big yellow doorknob?
it's a door.
Yeah, but it has a giant yellow
massive
doorknob. It
keyhole.
feels like surprisingly
Oh
anachronistic.
God, I don't like this.
who's that guy?
That's Ben, I think from Ben Drowned.
What?
What's Ben Drowned?
So Ben Drowned is a creepypasta about some kid who finds a cursed copy of Majora's Mask,
Oh shit.
and I think that's supposed
Speaking
to
of
be
Nintendo.
Ben.
Cool. He seems like a nice guy.
What
Anyway,
happens if I turn around?
I don't. Yeah, I can't wait to see your Zelda clips. Where are you gonna see them to? Like, can you have to be in order for
Oh,
In order for this to have a purpose-
You're not
Yeah.
running.
you need to be able to share it.
And
But
even if
to
you
what?
can share it, the purpose is sort of foggy at best, I think, to be honest. Like, this is just dumb. This is a dumb thing to include. This is hilarious. I thought they were joking.
You're not gonna say hi. Go ask him what he wants. He's following you, obviously. Did you
Yeah,
drop something?
that's Ben.
Maybe you dropped your wallet.
Hi, Ben. Oh, he has a
Oh.
knife. Watch
Yeah,
out.
he does damage you.
So does he only follow you if you look at him?
I don't know.
No, I think he follows you when you don't look at him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
I think if you don't look at him and move, he follows you. Turn around and bet he's there. There he is.
Sorry, that
I love
scared
how
me.
there was one thing that could have been there,
Okay.
and it was Ben.
So he.
No, genuinely,
He's on strings. He's on
I knew
strings.
that was gonna happen.
that wasn't even a fake reaction. That was
Just walk up to
I
him.
hate that.
Walk up to him. Oh, he's gone. Okay.
Yeah, you're looking at him now.
He's behind you now, or not? All right.
No, I just get me out of here.
He's on strings or something. Look like.
Yeah, he is on strings. He's supposed to be a puppet.
Oh, I thought he was with Ben though.
Yeah, Ben. It's about a puppet who plays Majora's
Why isn't my
Mask
health
or
coming
something.
back?
Anyway, I don't know. This
This
I
is
gotta-
so dumb. I just had to put it in there because it was hilarious.
it's.
I
it's
gotta be
stupid.
on. Like, I just hang on. Just speaking of that, one of the creepiest things I can imagine. Fuck. I can imagine happening to me is something appearing.
What is that?
I don't know.
Is that some dude prying his eye? Oh, okay. He's.
Yeah. Is something appearing right behind me? I find that really terrifying. So.
I'm not gonna show you.
To become a puppet is to Oh my god.
Let me just bring that mouse over here. There you go. I mean, you can lay it down though. In a world where PlayStation and Xbox, obviously PC, we have stuff like Relive or Relive. I don't know what it's called on AMD.
Yeah.
I've used it recently because AMD sent me a card and to try out, and I've used their software, and it works just like Shadowplay, and Shadowplay is the NVIDIA version of it, and that works. I mean, we're using it right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're not watching the video, it's because Shadowplay fucked up. But a console, Xbox and PS4 both have share buttons. I mean, the PS4 literally has a share button on the controller.
Yeah. To be
Xbox,
fair, that's a dumb button.
it is stupid as hell. But both can record for 15, 30 minutes of thing, and you can
I've
stream from
recorded
both of them.
Multiplayer games of Doom on
and you
like a
can-
PS4.
Yeah, and you can stream directly from them as well. So this isn't anything new. I don't know what Nintendo's trying to get at here.
Me neither.
They're playing catch up with something,
But
I
not,
don't
because
know.
Nintendo shouldn't be playing catch up.
Yeah.
Nintendo should never try to beat anyone at their own game. Nintendo should focus on being Nintendo, which, to be honest, if there's anything they deserve credit for, it's striving to look at only their audience and not gain any new fans whatsoever. Like, to be honest, like, it's a good way. I wish more companies did that. Not the way Nintendo does it, of course.
It's only Nintendo at this point, though. Really, they're the only ones with a fan base big enough to support them doing indie crap, which is effectively they're a AAA indie studio is what they are now. They make shit for their fans, and that's it.
But I mean, in general, like, in all entertainment, like, I wish more movies were like Riddick, and that Riddick is only made for Riddick fans. Riddick isn't trying to get new fans. Stuff like that in general is pretty cool. But yeah, anyways,
What do we got here?
Oh yeah.
What is that?
So you guys must have seen the trailers on YouTube if you don't have ad block. For Jigsaw, the film.
Nope.
Really? Okay, man,
Nope.
I get bombarded with them.
I haven't. I thought they already made.
I've been bombarded with Snowman on my phone because you can't get ad block for the.
We'll be talking about Snowman
Is
in a few minutes.
Jigsaw a Saw-related film?
You got it.
Oh, okay, so
There's
it's like an origin
another
story.
one.
How many does that make?
Well, like, there's, like, what, 7 original Saws? And now, like, only 2 of which were good?
So is this an origin story? Is this how, like, Jigsaw
No, this
became...
is a post, like...
Oh.
This is, I assume, or it takes place in between one of the many times they thought Jigsaw was dead.
Oh, that was a thing?
Like, yeah, they always think Jigsaw is dead. They're like, who could this be?
Like,
Jigsaw is dead. Jigsaw's never dead.
I thought it was just like a Fear Factor type show where they.
I
put
always
people
thought that
in
the point
death
of
scenarios.
That the point of Jigsaw was, and that's why I didn't like the first. I saw clips of it years ago. I don't think I ever saw the full version, but I like the idea of the first. Where's the key to? Go away. Of the first Saw movie being like it punishes people. Like he's not. I mean, he's a villain, but he's not going after like innocent teenagers. He's going after people who kind of sort of deserve it.
He's punishing people who don't value life.
Yeah.
And so the original, there's no better example in history of a one project that didn't need a sequel that has gotten so many sequels as there is a Saw, because the first Saw movie should have just been cool and by itself, and by taking it as far as they've gone, it's made Saw not cool in a bunch of movies, and now they're still doing it. And the actual topic says, like, when I remember there's a Jigsaw movie, I get sad. Because I do get sad every time I see that trailer. I'm like, they're still doing this fucking thing?
Kind of ruin the mystique of it. That's like if you're up like to Nightmare on Elm Street 15, like, okay, we get it, Freddy. You don't like teenagers.
Yeah.
I want like Nightmare on Elm Street like 15 to be like Freddy just like tries to like it's a rom-com.
Yeah.
Like Freddy tries to find love or something.
I like it. Honestly, I like it. I just think like this. Other things come to mind, like the Fast and the Furious, which I think is a tight example of something that really didn't need as many movies as it's gotten, and now bears no resemblance to what it was originally. Like,
Still after me.
The Fast and Furious movies have nothing to do with being the Fast and the Furious movies anymore.
Get away from me.
And so...
Yeah, I mean, you could hate on it for changing so vastly, or congratulate it for trying something else.
That's true, and I guess
He
that's...
can get me... Run!
I think that's
idiot.
maybe why it's not as offensive as the Saw movies.
Yeah.
Is because the Saw movies didn't get better. Like, Saw 1 was great, Saw 2 was passable, and then they're comically bad from there on in.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't start off in the first Fast and Furious movie with them driving 2 Dodge Chargers with a massive safe that they pulled out of a building attached to the back, driving through the city at 300 miles an hour, killing everybody.
The world's most celebrated mass murderers.
Yeah, because, then they... Yeah, really, though.
I'm going to chill out here and wait for
I'm going to let you guys go. Why? They just killed a whole lot of people. Like,
if they started with that, they would have had nowhere to go.
there's been no better, like, a fictional example of people who were let go just because there were worse people adjacent to them. It's just like...
You're better by comparison, so you're free to go.
I think Yahtzee said it best when he says, like, once a series goes to space, it kind of there's not much room left for it to go, if you know what I mean.
They got to be holding off on the space.
Oh, man, but then you can always go back to World War II after you've gone to space.
I get it, but the point I'm trying to make with that comment is, like, you can't, like there is a level of jump the shark where, like, you can't do that in the beginning, like...
Yep.
If you want it to be coherent, I think one step beyond space is time travel.
Oh my God, no!
Like, once you've gotten a time travel, then you can't go back because you can literally go everywhere. But I can't wait until in Fast and Furious 12 where Vin Diesel drifts around the moon.
Me neither, actually.
That's gonna be great. I mean, as much as I hate that fucking movie franchise for how ridiculous it is, and how offensive it is to somebody who appreciates car culture, I really want to see them go to the fucking moon.
And I think maybe you can attest to this, because at the time I was very into cars. I think Fast and the Furious 1 is actually a really good product of its time.
Yeah, the new Fast movies are totally blackface for car people.
Yes, exactly. But the original one was a really funny depiction of early 2000s culture as well as car culture that I didn't think was offensive.
It totally nailed it.
But they've gotten, like... I think that's what makes 1 and Tokyo Drift the kind of movies they are, as opposed to, like...
They recognized the culture and tried to stick somewhat to that.
Exactly, yeah. Whereas I think 4... I find the Fast and the Furious 4 to be kind of offensive.
The sound cut out.
The sound also cut out during me and Adam's viewing of it at the theater during the sort of climactic car chase. I'll give it this though.
What,
the Fast and Furious
for 3 or 4?
For 4.
Oh, okay. Nobody's missing out.
Fast and the Furious 4, I believe, was the first movie I ever saw with Gal Gadot. Was
she in that?
Yes, she was.
She was the Asian dude's girlfriend
Giselle.
or something.
She played Giselle.
Oh yeah.
She is
indeed
an amazing actress, and I'm a huge fan, and I think that was the first of her movies that I ever saw.
What a great death scene she had in 5 or 6.
It was 6. That pissed me off.
Where they drive down like
the
a
world's longest
400-mile runway.
Yeah.
And then she just jumps off for some reason.
I want them to do a Fast and Furious movie where they're having like some sort of street race, and the camera pans over and shows them the street as being like a block long. And then they have this massive gunfight, and it lasts for half an hour. They're going at like 100 miles an hour, but they never they don't get to the next set of lights, and then the fight ends, and it's just then they're at the lights. It's like what just happened?
Cuts back to the road in front of them 20 minutes later, and it's the same exact shot from earlier.
Yeah. I think I've seen all of the Fast and the Furious
shit.
films. Like I've seen even the newest one with the Charlize Theron.
There's no safe point.
I have not seen the newest one. I've seen all the other ones.
You can't watch the new one.
Okay.
Like.
I mean, Vin Diesel drifts over a nuclear submarine.
Like 7 is hard to watch.
7 had one good scene.
Okay.
And it was the montage at the end for Paul Walker.
7 had 2 good scenes.
All right, what's your good scene from 7?
The Jason Statham's character's introduction, where he's in the hospital.
That
was a good scene.
Oh my god! Yeah, it's like it totally pulls you back into what this garbage is. To be like Fast and the Furious, Fast 7, and then it cuts to him. He's like standing next to his brother on life support in full on Bold and the Beautiful style, daytime TV drama. And he walks out of a fucking hospital that's like on fire and exploding. Like
I will say I think the best scene in the movie, just because of how hilariously bad it is Ronda Rousey's like cameo. Delivery. She says like 2 lines, and they're the worst lines you've ever heard in your life.
I don't remember.
Like, which was odd because I know, like, I saw her in the Entourage movie, and even though that movie was not amazing, she was passably good in that.
Oh god, this freaking spider.
Like, that was unbearable. She was the security guard.
I know who she was. She fought Michelle
Rodriguez,
yes. And Michelle somehow lived.
Yeah.
But I don't remember her lines.
She says like a couple lines, and they're partly they're forgettable, but
it's totally they walk into a scene in like a 9 million story building in Dubai somewhere, where all these women are painted gold and naked and dancing, and there's turbo loud, obnoxious music playing, and then Vin Diesel drifts a car through a building with Paul Walker.
Yeah.
And the Lycan, the Lycan Hypersport is what it's called, which literally, if you're unfamiliar with cars, this is the most ostentatious, obnoxious fucking car in the world. It literally has diamonds encrusted into the headlights of the car.
It's the
the
Bugatti
perfect
Veyron
embodiment for
Bugatti
what's
Veyron.
happened to the Fast and the Furious.
Yes.
Right? Like,
And so Vin Diesel like lifts the car off the ground, and then Ronda Rousey chokeslams Michelle Rodriguez through a building or something, and then I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I will say the Fast and the Furious 7, one of the things that introduced Natalie Emmanuel's character. And
is that Chris Hemsworth's wife?
I'm not sure who Chris Hemsworth is married to, but she's in Game of Thrones.
Who?
Natalie Emmanuel. She plays Missandei in Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay, no, a different part. Who is the Rock's other buddy cop?
Oh, I don't know her name.
That's
Is she
Chris
married to Chris
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth?
Oh,
Okay,
man.
yeah. No, I'm thinking about the one from Game of Thrones, right? Natalie Emmanuel. And she's all right in the
is this?
movies. Although I'm sitting there wondering, like, why is she in this movie? Like, you're in Game of Thrones. Just be in Game of Thrones.
She has sex with a guy with no dick
Uh,
somehow. So they figured that out somehow.
yeah.
Although, wasn't there an argument about whether or not he has no bits?
I believe there is actually. But I saw this thing today. I
I'm
think
on
it
team
was.
no bits.
I think it was like Kit Harington is excited for the finale of Game of
Oh, I'd
Thrones
say
because I
he
guess
is.
he's gonna no on to bigger and better things. And I think
Outside Activision's like, so when's my call for the sequel to the Call of Duty movie?
we all, but like,
to hang out with Lewis Hamilton again.
why don't like we sometimes on this show we like to do fan
I almost
castings
had 400
for
now.
our ideal casting for like a certain part, right?
Yeah.
Like my one that I championed for years, which will never happen, was Tom Hardy
I
as Lex
cast
Luthor.
Allison Brie as my wife.
Or Aaron's casting of Allison Brie as his wife. We do this sometimes. We like to do it. It's a fun hypothetical thing to do as a fan.
Hang in there.
Why don't we all sit around and let's try to come up with something we would like to see Kit Harington play?
Oh, in the future?
Yeah. Can anyone come up with anything?
As an established role?
A character.
James Bond.
Why don't...
Dom from Fast and the Furious.
Does anyone, like...
You can
Is there
replace
any-
Paul Walker.
Like, no offense. Like, Kit Harington is a terrific Jon Snow. But when I saw that, I couldn't for the life of me come up with something I want to see him play.
So he was excited for the show to end.
Yeah, basically. I think that was I only briefly skimmed the article. I did
thought he
kind of
was-
like a Jordan.
I thought he was excited so that he could spoilers.
Is that what we're calling it now? Skimming the
Spoilers.
article? That's doing a Jordan?
Yeah,
Game
it
of
is.
Thrones
Yeah.
There's a
spoilers.
couple of things that are doing a Jordan. Oh, God.
Yeah, massive Game of Thrones spoilers here.
Excited so that he can stick it in Daenerys Targaryen again.
I think he's excited just to be done, and I think he said like move on to other things. But like,
he's excited to be
I just can't think of
doing
what
Amelia Clark.
like. I'm
Well-
just not sure. It's weird Game of Thrones actors' relationship with other films. Like Amelia Clark's been in a few movies.
Not good ones.
Exactly. That's what's weird about the whole
Like
operation.
she's fantastic in Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. In Terminator, I heard she was fucking awful. I don't know if she was awful.
Well, part
so
of
much
that
as
was
the script
Genesis,
Was.
yeah.
I mean, the movie was bad. I'm not sure. I'm hesitant about her
All right,
role
I'm
in the Han Solo movie, which isn't on here at all, and is the Han Solo movies have been labeled as Solo. It's just called Solo.
Yeah.
Solo, a Star Wars
Which
story.
is a funny movie for like a solo movie, but
Well, yeah, I saw a bunch of photoshops where it's just like a red Solo cup with Star Wars font next to it. Like
it's pretty good.
Was it Andrew or you, Aaron, today who posted that the opening of the Solo movie should be,
Oh, hey.
should be the scene where Kylo Ren shoves his
Spoilers.
light, kills Han, and then it just freeze frames. He looks at the camera and says, "Do you ever look at your life and wonder how you got here?"
Yeah, the like classic like Ron Howard. Like,
This looks bad, doesn't
oh
it?
man,
Let's start from the beginning. Out here in the fields.
I'm just like
Ding, ding.
so not excited to see another Ron
Five
Howard
meals
movie.
or whatever.
The
And something,
But-
something.
I hate that
about
song.
it.
I hate that song.
Oh yeah.
The
Why isn't it called Teenage Wasteland? Oh dear.
Teenage Baba O'Reilly.
I don't know, because it's the Who. The whole song is a self-indulgent mess.
Because they were on drugs, Adam. And then they broke their drums and guitars and stuff. Because that was the thing to do back then.
But yeah, Game of Thrones might have rough luck with people acting in other things.
It's totally got Mark Hamill syndrome written all over
Also,
it.
Kit Harington was in that Pompeii movie that, solidly no one watched.
Gemma Arterton was in that too.
Gemma Arterton was in that?
Oh, Gemma. Right.
Yeah.
I started calling her Gemma for some reason, even though I totally knew it was Gemma, and it's just been melted into my
She was
brain.
in Hansel and Gretel, and that was really good. I really
With
enjoyed
Jeremy
that
Renner or
movie.
something.
With Jeremy Renner. That was a good movie.
That was the original Black Widow and Hawkeye story. That was
pretty
their...
good.
What was the... Bucharest? Is that what the... What was the adventure that Black Widow and Hawkeye went on in Avengers?
Was it Budapest?
Budapest. There you go.
You and I remember Budapest. Was it Oh God.
It was Hungary instead of Romania. Anyway.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I don't like any
it's
part of this.
Mew or something.
Yeah, it's Mew.
What's the name of the cat? Did you see Madoka Magica?
Oh, I
Meowth.
don't remember the name of the...
Is that Meowth? Totally Meowth. It's got eyeshadow and everything. That's some anthropomorphized nonsense there. Also JPEG. Okay.
The, yeah, this, oh god, Pompeii. Anyways, speaking of movies, so apparently Snowman is a big piece of shit.
First off, what is Snowman?
Oh, so Snowman is this film. It's directed by I forget his name, but he did. It's really famous.
Jack
Let the
Frost.
right one in. Let the right one in.
I don't know what that is either.
That's a Swedish
What's with the gummy
horror
worms all
film
over
from.
the
You remember it's a Swedish vampire horror film from 2008.
Nope.
You must remember it. It's
Nope.
like very famous.
Yep.
The-
Nope.
What film?
This Let the Right One In.
Yes.
Yeah. They
What
did
about
an
the left
American
one?
version, Let Me In.
Let the left one in.
The
You got it.
but anyway, so like it's just gotten panned by critics. And by the way, it's been a rough couple years for Michael Fassbender as far as critical reception goes. It should be at least.
Oh, is Michael Fassbender's penis in that?
No, I think it's just the rest of him mostly.
Oh.
But it's
Dang.
apparently the director said.
Oh, that's what they mean by right. He's only got one ball or
They
something.
couldn't. I didn't see the full thing, but apparently the director didn't like the fact that they weren't allowed to shoot as much of the script as they wanted to.
Oh.
And so he thinks that could have led to some of the critical problems. But I just think it's kind of a shame to see Michael Fassbender
In another bad role.
in another bad role, especially since
Oh,
he's been in so many good
God.
ones. It's not like he's one of those great actors who only does bad movies, like Paul Bettany. It's like,
What are you talking about? Civil War was good.
oh yeah, that's true. I forgot Paul Bettany is now in good movies again. But
to be fair, he was awesome in Mordecai.
he was awesome in Mordecai, even though Mordecai is just about the biggest piece of shit on the planet.
This is a 1990s thingy.
What
Go
is
ahead.
chasing?
The
me here?
oh yeah, sorry. So
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. That'll probably kill me.
but like Michael Fassbender has also been in amazing
fuck that.
movies, and he's done amazing performances. He's one of my favorite. I made a list of top 5 working actors, and he was on that
man.
list.
Oh jeez, Ron.
The,
Ron, stamina. Come on.
That's
man.
a hard list to make, my list. It's just a shame to see him in another movie like this. But I don't know, maybe the 13% of critics who rated it positively on Rotten Tomatoes are right. Maybe Snowman's amazing. Maybe the director's wrong too. Who knows?
The guy on CBC, I don't know who he is, but like CBC National's film critic gave it a 1.
Richard Krause.
Give it a half star.
Richard Krause, sorry.
I give
Is
his
it-
star rating system a half star.
Presuming it's the same. He gave it a what star?
Half.
A half star?
That's not,
Oh,
I
Out of
mean,
5.
that's rough.
Yes.
2.5 points out of 5.
The
out of 10.
So let me see.
What movie? Snowman.
Yeah.
What is it about?
It's about a serial killer, isn't it?
Who's in it? Michael Fassbender.
Michael
Who else?
Fassbender's the only one I know is in
Oh.
it. I'm sure there are others.
Run.
Oh man, 420 just base.
Oh, I'm gonna die here.
Okay, fine. Maybe it's
This
not
is my death?
Richard Crouch.
This is
Richard
my death?
Krause.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm butchering your name, by the way, Richard. If you're watching, I don't know if you
Long-time
remember
fan.
me, but
Can we
One
end
the-
now?
last view.
We're an
Yeah,
hour
we're,
and a half
we're
in,
totally
Con.
over time. Well, we're not
trust
an hour
me,
and a half.
if
You recorded for like 20 minutes before we started the podcast, but anyway.
Yeah, we're good. What's the next topic?
Well, The Punisher comes out on the 17th now. We thought it was going to get delayed longer than that, but apparently
Yeah,
it's
it comes
not.
out on the 17th, which is my birthday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I missed an opportunity.
Were
there.
you the top comment on YouTube?
No.
Oh, because on the trailer it
Stop
says
commenting.
it comes out on my birthday.
Oh, okay. No, that's just
okay.
someone else who shares a birthday with
Oh,
me
man,
and Jeff
shit.
Buckley and Martin Scorsese.
Sweet.
Um,
My birthday is the same as Jesse
Buckley.
James.
what?
Jeff Buckley?
Yeah.
He's the guy with the cough syrup.
No, he's the singer.
Oh, my money's gone.
Recorded my favorite ever music DVD, Jeff Buckley live in Chicago. Check it out.
I share birthdays with Jesse James. The old one, not the bike guy. The horse guy.
Oh, yeah.
The outlaw, legendary
Horse
outlaw.
guy.
Yeah, well, there's a Jesse
No,
James.
Aaron didn't see the movie.
He rides horses, isn't that?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess he does. But did you see the movie, by the way?
I was talking about him instead of. No, I haven't.
Great
Even
movie.
though I should because we're birthday bros.
Yeah.
But not the was it West Coast Choppers guy?
Yeah,
Not
West
that
Coast
guy.
Choppers,
The guy
yeah,
was
yeah.
married to Sandra Bullock for some reason.
You share a birthday with original Jesse James.
Yeah,
By the way,
OG.
the film, The Assassination of Jesse James, is the best villain, one of, if not the best villain performance ever
What,
by
Jesse
Casey
James?
Affleck.
As Jesse James?
No, he plays
Jesse James.
the other guy, Robert Ford.
Sandra Bullock.
In the film, and really good, just amazing performance. Casey Affleck, for whatever you may think of him, is a great actor.
He's a good little brother.
Is he not the older brother?
Is he not? Oh, I don't know.
I don't
assumed
know.
He was younger. I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
I don't know. I thought he was
He's
older.
a good brother. Whatever.
I don't
whatever
know.
the fuck.
Did name his kid Cooper. Bear that in
Didn't
mind.
ruin his career. So.
Yeah, he actually has a best actor now.
And the Steam Halloween
be
sale
jumped
starts
by
at some
something?
point. I'm kind of.
Oh yeah,
Little
Steam
do
Halloween
they know
sale. I
I
think it's
now
like
have an
October
axe.
26th or something.
Is it?
Yeah, something like
did
that.
PayPal leak it?
Someone leaked it. I think, presuming though, I only saw it on one website.
PayPal leak every Steam sale ever, every fucking year, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, a sale!" Like, oh man, they haven't been doing this for fucking 40 years. You know, since Steam
Right? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
was incepted. That's the singular of that. Anyway, that'll do it for this week, I guess. Any final thoughts?
I'm kind of disappointed that we're ending now because I finally got a weapon.
Oh, you started with a weapon though.
In endless mode. I was doing story mode.
Oh, right on. So you can kill Ben the string man, or whatever?
Hopefully, if I come across him,
Cool. Or
that
axe
wise
that
guy
kitten.
better not run into me. I can tell you that.
Mush that kitten into the ground. Anyway, so what's going on this week? Is any things going on this week? I guess apart from the Steam sale.
I don't know. Are we gonna go see Blade Runner?
I mean, we should probably go see that before it's not in theaters anymore.
Blade
'cause
Runner.
it's-
We need to see Blade Runner. We need to go see Thor because that's coming out soon.
Yeah, it is.
It
It's
totally
coming.
is.
I have an exam on Tuesday, and then after that, I'm good.
Also, we were talking about Blade Runner. There's a scene in the original film I didn't mention last week. That's totally a rape scene. There's totally rape in that movie, and it's just fine. Apparently.
Oh, sorry, Blade Runner.
Yeah. Or the
I haven't
spoilers
seen it
for
in
like a
years.
75-year-old movie. This woman, who's presumed to be a robot at this point, tries to leave his apartment because she doesn't want to be there anymore. And as she's opening the door, he slams the door in her face and says, "You want to stay here," or whatever. And then he pushes her up against the wall and says, "Say kiss me." And he says it multiple times until she kisses him, and that's like...
So that thing can't be killed. All right, I'm done.
Is this game good?
Yeah, it is actually pretty good. Considering it was free, made by like a team of 3 guys.
It took us 20 minutes to get running, probably. What do you get? Poop, fart, ass. What do we got? We gotta complete the quadruple or whatever.
Maybe this is one of those games you need to play to get it.
I think you just
You
need
know?
to download it.
Like, yeah, but you know what I mean? But sometimes when you're separated from a game, especially, you
Prince
know,
Albert.
like, you know how much shit we talk on this podcast and just on this
Yeah.
channel in general.
How
So,
much
like,
poop, fart, ass.
maybe you just don't get the experience if you're not
Maybe not.
playing.
Maybe not. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully there's more rape in 2049. We'll check it out sometime next week or this week.
That's a weird quote out of context. I mean, it's not
I think we
entirely
have
kosher
named the
in
episode.
context, but
Yeah, alright. See you later, everybody.
later.
Bye.